Hey guys, it is Miss Sam. Let's review what we have been learning this week in reading. So, what is sequencing? Do you guys remember what sequencing is? Sequencing is the order in which things happen in a story. When you read, think about what comes first, next, and last. Several events occur in the same time. Words such as meanwhile and during give us clues that two events are happening at the same time. So we talked about story elements last week. How many story elements do we have? You're right, 5. Good job. So some of the story elements that we talked about are characters, which is basically the who in a story. Who is in the story? Might be people, might be animals, or might even be things. The setting. Setting is where and when the story takes place. So it might be in the morning, it might be on a farm, it might be in 1986. It's where and when the story takes place. Next, we have the plot. And the plot is basically just the beginning, the middle, and the end of a story. So in the plot, we have a problem and a solution. And we talked about how we start the story with an introduction. We have rising action, and normally in the rising action, there's some sort of a problem that's introduced. And then we get up to the climax where there's a big problem, and it leads us to our falling action where everything's kind of settling back down, and that's our solution. And then the end of the story, which is our resolution, and everything normally ties together nice and neat. Okay. So our problem, or we called it conflict, is what goes wrong in the story. And remember when we were reading the A Bad Case of Stripes, there were so many things going wrong in that story. There were so many problems or conflicts in that story, and that had us so interested as readers. When there are problems, that gets your attention and it keeps it. So the whole time we were looking for a solution. We were looking for a way for that problem to be solved. And like I said, plot is just everything that happens in a story. And we use those sequencing words: first, next, then, and last. And then we look at the overall theme. And the theme is just the message or the lesson that the author wants you to leave the story with. And he wants you to be able to apply it to your own life. So maybe it's love, maybe it's friendship, maybe it's to always be honest. But the author normally leaves you with some kind of story. Think back to A Bad Case of Stripes. He wanted her to not be afraid to do what she wanted to do. She really wanted to eat lima beans. And by the end of the story, she had been made fun of because she had changed so many different ways into many different colors. And had stars and stripes and polka dots and camouflage, that by the end she finally just ate the lima beans. It wasn't even a big deal. All right, so let's look at our vocabulary from this week. So the words that we had to know that were important in our Because of Winn-Dixie story. I hope you guys liked it. I know that you read Winn-Dixie, Because of Winn-Dixie, last year in 3rd grade with Miss Velvet. So we just read a little snippet this year, and we have done a couple activities with it. So some of the vocabulary words that we had were grand, which means excellent or wonderful; memorial, which means helping people to remember a person, thing, or event; peculiar, which means strange or unusual; positive, which means without a doubt or sure; prideful, which means you're overly proud of oneself; recalls, which means remembers; selecting, which means picking out or choosing. So let's quiz you. Let's see how you're doing with these words. Which word means strange or unusual? Did you say peculiar? Good job. Which word means picking or choosing? You're right, selecting. Good job. Which word means remembers? recall. Which word means excellent or wonderful? Grand. Which word means helping someone remember a person, place, or event? Memorial. Awesome job today, guys. So this was just a quick little review of everything that we've talked about this week. If you need any help, as always, reach out to Miss Shelby or myself. We are here for you.